guys, hopefully I'll have this up at some stage in October. I have a lot of videos to do right now. I'm recording this today. It is the 10th, no it's not, it's the 9th of October, and this is the 100 subscriber giveaway for LastVenom76. Go over, check out the giveaway video. I will put a link in the description, but how the prizes work, you have to really watch to sort of see, because they could be a bit different depending on how many entries that there is. But even if there's a few entries, which I know he'll get more than 5 entries, the vinyl that he's given away for this, it is beautiful. The artwork within it is awesome. Go check it out because it's well worth entering the contest for. And if possible, do a video. We want to spread the word and get his subs up a bit for him. So yeah. So we have 3 questions. The last one, I'm sorry Eric, I'm really going to make an arse of it because you confused the hell out of me. I may record my husband giving you some lines. As he's a big Python fan. I don't, anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it, but here we go. Number 1, Eric had asked us to recommend him some good ghost stories, like supernatural movies, as that's him and his wife's favourite genre. And as Sean said when I watched his today, it's probably going to be pretty damn hard to recommend you something you haven't seen. So let me see. I've written a few down here for you. There's a really old British one called Whistle and I'll Come, which I don't know if you would enjoy it. There's not an awful lot of action. It's very slow, it's very atmospheric, but there are a few scenes in it that I felt were actually truly terrifying. So if you haven't seen, just see if you can check that one out. Some which no doubt you'll have seen. The Orphanage, The Devil's Backbone, Grave Encounter, Stir of Echoes. I'm sure you've seen all of those. Have you seen Marrowbone? That's quite a good one. And I've written down a few here just in case you aren't really a fan of foreign cinema. I'm not sure. Lada Land, not La La Land. It's a Thai movie that I watched quite recently. I really enjoyed that. It's Lada Land. Before Someone Gets Hurt, that's a found footage style, so I'm not sure if you like that kind of thing. I enjoyed that. The Devil's Doorway, again found footage. I'm sorry, but I do like my found footage. That's set in Ireland. It's got sort of religious overtones to it. And the last one I'll recommend is another Asian movie. It's called Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. That's Gonjiam, and I really enjoyed that. That movie, although I will say for the first half is a bit slow, but the last half is totally terrifying. So yeah, that's some recommendations from me. Hopefully you haven't seen all of those. No, and it's my favourite genre too. I love my found footage, but anything spooky, anything ghosty, yeah, that's my bag as well. Number 2, this is a really difficult one. 3 songs, your top 3 songs from the soundtrack of your life. So Eric isn't meaning your 3 favourite songs. He's meaning if you made a soundtrack for your life, I suppose with songs that reminded you of specific situations, circumstances, people that were important to you, and in some way life forming, what would those songs be? So I had 4. I've taken it down to 3. I may give you the 4th anyway. So the first one I've chosen is Queen, These Are the Days. It's from one of the later albums. It was the last song that Freddie Mercury released before he sadly passed, and it was his message to his fans, the last line of which was "I still love you." It means a lot to me, still really upsets me to this day. Everyone knows that Freddie was a big hero of mine. And the lyrics are really heartfelt, and as you get older, and we all are, and I am, and oh god, the lyrics are for people that are getting older, sort of looking back. They're beautiful lyrics and they mean a lot to me, not just because of Freddie, but I just think it's a really, really nice, important song about being retrospective about your past, and yeah, I love it. It's just a big part of my history. Number 2, I have chosen a song by Typo Negative called Christian Woman. And no, that's not because I'm overtly religious. I had a very strict Catholic upbringing, nuns as teachers, that sort of thing. Christian Woman is, I urge you to check it out. If you haven't actually heard Christian Woman by Typo Negative, go look the video up on YouTube and have a watch. It's got a lot of Catholic imagery, about a young girl that's a Catholic and brought up as a Catholic, but this like big sexy long haired man comes into her bedroom and she's just like, oh yeah, and that's me. I had that very strict upbringing, and Pete Steele, the singer of Typo Negative, is probably the most beautiful man that has ever been put on this earth. R.I.P. Pete Steele. But yeah, that song, I put that in there because that really sums up probably a good decade of my life, at least more my late teens and my 20s. So I was always a goth, and Typo are a band I really like, so I put that in to symbolise the younger party days of my life. The third one I have chosen is the one that reminds me most of my son, the most important thing in my life, and that is Lynyrd Skynyrd, A Simple Man. When he was born, oh my life, when Isaac was born, I had a very difficult pregnancy, very, very difficult labour, and I didn't feel, I had to have an emergency section, and I didn't feel that initial love that you're supposed to feel for a child. I did, obviously, you know, I loved him, I cared a great deal for him, I looked after him, but that real physical, overwhelming love that you feel for your child didn't come right away. But it did very shortly after. And this song is one that my husband found and thought fitted him really well and spoke for what we would like for him in his life growing up. And I just was unable to listen to it without crying for, I have no idea how long, because it's just such a beautiful song. Again, listen to the lyrics. It's pretty much just a parent saying all they want for their child is to be happy, to appreciate what's important, and to be a simple man. My phone's going downstairs. Probably my mother. Don't know. Can you hear it? Still ringing. If I go downstairs, it will stop before I get there. I went downstairs. It stopped before I got there. So yeah, A Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. And number 3, and finally, watch Monty Python's Dead Parrot sketch. No. I've seen it. I've no desire to see it again. I hate Monty Python. There's my entry ripped up. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I don't like it. I've watched Life of Brian. I've watched The Holy Grail. I do not find Monty Python funny. What can I say? So he said he wanted us to give our best Pining for the Fjords line. I didn't know by this whether you meant an impression of John Cleese when he says Pining for the Fjords. I didn't know whether you meant a line from Monty Python that was equivalent, or whether you meant just a really insignificant, stupid line from anything that doesn't in any way relate to the subject we're talking about. So I didn't really understand the question. I do apologise. I'm going to go with the way Sean went, which was just a line that makes absolutely no sense. I apologise for the poor lighting conditions.
I thought you were going to say my face or my hair.
This is for LastVenom76. It's part 3 question, because I am terrible at anything to do with random quotes, or stop doing that, people's going to think it's frozen. Why can I hear her talking and his face hasn't moved? Right, so give me some lines like Pining for the Fjords, please.
Lemon curry. That's one.
What about the...
A Scotsman on a horse. That's 2. I will not buy this record. It is scratched.
Personal or cultural appropriation.
Yeah, and my hobbycraft is full of eels.